This is the Hub on Hollywood. I'm James.
I'm Jamie.
And we love movies.
Forever and ever and ever and ever.
Ever and ever.
Never. So I'm just going to add that to our intro. I'm just going to sing that at the beginning of
I love in my Twitter feed, because I follow Hamilton, and so they're always retweeting everything that, everybody that's talking about it still. And everybody just, is saying they can't get the words out of their mouth. They're just watching it over and over again. Mm-hmm. I watched it like last week again, and so I want that forever and ever in my head.
And I've got the piano back here, so I'm working on it, James. So once I learn it, we'll have a little concert, okay?
By the end of the episode, I want to hear dun 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 dun.
Yeah, right.
All right, we'll work on that. But yeah, thanks for tuning into this week's episode of the Hub on Hollywood. If you are watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. Subscribe, join the conversation. We have a lot of things to talk about on this episode. Also, we're on social media. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can watch our videos on Facebook. Give them a share, give them a like. Love us. What's the
like
word?
Us.
Yeah,
love us, gotta have
us. On this week's episode, we are hitting more casting calls. We have quite a few interesting ones, which sound pretty cool. Honest Thief, a Liam Neeson film, filmed in Massachusetts. We'll talk a little bit about that. AMC versus Universal. A deal has been struck following the big Trolls controversy. How this may be changing the era of the whole movie film industry forever. Being so dramatic.
Trolls.
Really. And lastly, Emmys. Some big surprises, some big snubs, and we'll talk about a few of those and a little bit about one of our favorite shows that got a lot of many Emmy nominations. Mm-hmm. So, but first, those casting calls.
So for the folks here in the New England region, things are picking back up. We've been talking about this the last couple of episodes. So it's a really great opportunity. It's a good time for you to follow a casting company, sign up, get your information out there, and be a part of the films and television programs that are coming to our region. Lots of work, lots of unique experiences. So here we go. First of all, they are looking for, this is Boston Casting, are looking for friends or families that are Rhode Island residents. If you've been living and socializing together and have not left the state in 30 days, era of COVID, then you qualify. They are looking for you to submit photos of you and your family and friends and tell them where you live in Rhode Island. If you have any acting experience, they're looking for various skills, including but not limited to playing guitar, playing sports and hiking. So if you want to grab the attention of Boston Casting, live in Rhode Island, haven't left the state in 30 days, go ahead and submit to Boston Casting Submit 4 at gmail.com. So that's
and be honest. If you haven't, if you have left Rhode Island, it's not worth risking a whole crew just because you may have done something irresponsible. So be responsible. We want to open up.
Oh, look at that with the PSA with James.
Hey, we're trying it.
Exactly. And then Boston Casting also looking right now for friends, families, and couples. They're looking for father-daughter duos who play guitar. They're looking for couples and friends 30 to 45 years old who are comfortable with hiking, and families who play football, all very specific. If that sounds like you, that's also Boston Casting Submit 4 at gmail.com. Interesting stuff, James. We'll see what comes of it.
Very interesting stuff indeed. And obviously, it's always great to see more work happening in Massachusetts and New England and all around. And it's funny because I just got an email speaking about filming in Massachusetts for this new Liam Neeson film. And when I first saw the email or the description of it, I thought this was another Taken sequel, but apparently it's not. This one was filmed, or I guess some aerial shots of the city of Boston, but it was several scenes were filmed in Worcester, which is how far away would you say is it from Boston? About
it's like an hour and a half. Like an hour and a half outside of Boston, so in Massachusetts.
So apparently they filmed a car chase and several other things there. But so Honest Thief. It is starring Liam Neeson, a bank robber who tries to turn himself in because he's falling in love and wants to live an honest life. But when he realizes the feds are more corrupt than him, he must fight back to clear his name. And a cool thing about this, I wasn't too interested to see this. I watched the trailer and it looks like I I don't want to say knockoff, because I really do like Liam Neeson and he was great in Taken. But this seems very similar kind of style. However, in this movie, one of the, I guess, villains is Anthony Ramos and Jeffrey Donovan, or Jai Courtney, and Anthony Ramos. And Anthony Ramos, he was in Hamilton. He's also appearing in The Heights. And so,
so good for him. He's exploding.
He's a good kid. I like him. I like his work. And so, if anything, I'm happy that he's finding more work. And Liam Neeson, he's still doing his thing. I wait till it's on VOD, but yeah,
Liam Neeson, he's definitely got a niche. When you say he's got a niche there, he's Liam's. He's got a certain set of skills, James. He's got a very particular set of skills.
He's one of those actors that has evolved in their second stage of life. Like in his first half of his career, very prestigious films, Schindler's List and many others that are very dramatic roles. And then he hits this second stage in his career where he becomes this action star, this gun-toting guy who can beat up 50 men at one time. It's kind of like Leslie Nielsen from Airport and from the Naked Gun series and all those other movies, those parody movies. His first half of his career, very serious roles and very dramatic stuff. Wasn't really a real leading man or leading actor. But once he switched into the parody world and into the comedy world, his second life had a resurgence. And so he's one of those actors. So I'm happy that he's still working.
Highly bankable. People are making money. Everybody goes and continues to see the Liam Neeson movies and that character that he plays. So they're gonna, the studios are really gonna bank on that. They're gonna continue to put Liam out there in the role that people love him in the most. So yeah, we'll continue to
is there a stage where he's just too old, or in general actors are too old to be that kind of character? And I'll use this example. Harrison Ford, they're going to make another Indiana Jones movie. He's going to be like 88 years old, punching Nazis or like really. I mean, how more can this man take? He's taking a lot of abuse.
Who's the get off my lawn guy? First of all,
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. Let's talk about him in a second. Harrison is my man. Okay, I will never besmirch Harrison.
He's my man too.
He is my secret imaginary elderly boyfriend that I've had, I've been in love with him since I was 9 years old. Harrison only gets better. You know what I mean? And I think that Harrison's bit is just that snarky, I'm old and I don't care. And I've got, and he's just got this wicked sense of humor, and everything that he is in, he continues to be amazing. Okay. So he was in that movie with the dog recently.
Yes.
Call of the Wild.
Beethoven, right?
Call of the Wild. Shut up. Anyways, Call of the Wild. And he carried that entire movie. He was acting his ass off opposite of this really bad CGI dog. And I mean, he carried the whole thing. He carried the whole thing. So
he carried the whole thing. He did carry the whole thing. However, at the same time, they refused to film in Alaska, and they instead filmed in Los Angeles because he didn't want to go to Alaska. That doesn't sound like a movie action star.
You don't need to go to Alaska. The poor guy.
I want to see my Harrison Ford in Alaska fighting real dogs.
Yeah.
Does he fight the dog? I haven't watched the movie, so I don't have no idea.
Oh my god. No, he doesn't fight the dog, but he does fight some wolves, I think, and a guy. I don't know. But no, I don't think there's an expiration date on Harrison Ford. I don't think, just like there's not an expiration date on Charlton Heston. No, who was the other guy?
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. There we go. Sorry. I'm sorry, Big Ron, my father-in-law. He loves him. But I don't think there's an expiration date on these guys. When you're a male actor, James, there's hardly ever an expiration date. But I think there's no end to what the Liam Neeson.
At least in this movie, the woman he falls in love with is somebody his actual age. It's not somebody who's like 30 years old, and then he's good. Not really 60 or 70. He's also 40 or 50 years old.
Oh my goodness!
Like no, that's the cliche Hollywood.
And we'll enjoy the Boston skyline in that film too.
There we go. Speaking about Boston skyline, I have no easy segue for this. We're bringing back one of our older topics that we were talking about a few months ago when AMC made groundbreaking news when they announced that they weren't going to show any Universal films in their theaters because Universal went ahead and released Trolls 2, Trolls World Tour, the classic. They released it immediately on video on demand. And so AMC, as a response, decided to ban all their movies. And that was really shooting themselves in the foot, because
Yep.
obviously during the pandemic, AMC is hemorrhaging money right now, and the last thing they need, the last thing they can afford, is fewer movies, fewer blockbusters showing up in their theaters when they can. And so after that whole big shakeup, we get a new development, we get a new update. We found out that this week that there's a new deal that's been struck between AMC and Universal. Now, this is being called historic because, unlike how it's been done in the past, where when movies go out in theaters, they have to wait 90 days before showing up on video on demand anywhere. Now, under this new deal between AMC and Universal, they only have to wait 17 days, including 3 weekends, before movies can go straight to video on demand. And this, to many, is coming across as AMC's last-ditch effort to survive, hang on to any money that it can,
Sure.
until, or when, as the whole industry continues to go in this weird kind of unknown direction.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I think it's a case of adapt or die. It really is, because I know that, the folks like AMC and Regal and all the other cinemas out there, of course they want to hold on to the films as long as possible, but they don't have that leverage anymore. They
no.
really don't. So something had to give. They couldn't just put that pressure on Universal, and because Universal
Universal
has all
doesn't
the
need
power right
AMC.
now.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't need
exactly.
AMC.
Exactly. So they had to come to the table. They had to reach a compromise, because without that relationship between the cinemas and the movie houses like Universal, especially one that big, you're right. They're shooting themselves in the foot. That's going to be that would be the death blow to themselves. So I think, like I said, adapt or die. It sounds like a solid compromise. I'm surprised that it works as well as it does. I'm surprised that Universal didn't go for more blood. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like it only has to be out for 1 week and then it goes on video on demand. So I think that they reached a really reasonable compromise with the amount of time. So I hope that allows these kinds of relationships to continue. I hope that it allows AMC to stay alive and in its death throes here after the
Now,
coronavirus.
I have this question for you, because there are other movie chains that are also in the same situation where they're
Yeah.
struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just like when AMC made the initial decision to immediately pull movies, Universal films, from their theaters, a lot of people saw that as a very quick response and without a lot of thought behind it. This decision seems, a lot of people are comparing it to in a similar situation, saying this deal happened very too quickly, or much too quickly. And what's its impact on other movie chains? Because now, with AMC and Universal having this deal where video on demand where films can go on video on demand, do these put other movie theaters at risk? Was this decision made too quickly? Do other movie chains try making the same deal as AMC did,
Mm-hmm.
so they can show movies much quicker, as opposed to, if they have to wait 90 days still, then no one's going to go to their movie chain. They're going to either go to AMC, or they're going to wait 17 days to watch it on VOD.
Exactly.
And so all these
Exactly.
other chains, are they going to make their own deal? Or are they going to try to get the same AMC deal? And again, this seems like just a hemorrhaging problem. This puts a Band-Aid on the bleeding, because with how things currently are with the pandemic, these movie chains are not looking too good right now. And so I'm asking you, I know this is a very long
Yeah.
question,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Try to
what do you think?
remember.
Yeah, what do you
But
think the
yeah.
impact of this is going to be on
Yeah.
other movie chains? Do you think they're going to try
Well,
to strike the same deal?
I think so. I think it's setting a precedent, and it's like I think that you laid it out pretty well. This is going to create a domino effect in the industry, and for better or worse, um, I think it's a necessary move. However, because Universal and these other production companies, they do not need the theaters as much as they did. They can
Mm-hmm.
just go
Mm-hmm.
straight to video on demand. They can go right to the streaming services, and in this way, they keep both industries alive. Um, so I think that we are going to see more of these deals in the following weeks and months, because, like you said, now AMC's got this primo deal,
Yeah, the other
and the other
theater
movie
chains
cinema
must
chains are
be
going to have to
spinning.
follow.
Yeah, they must be spinning, because
I
Like
Yeah, no,
because AMC is one of the largest, if not the largest, movie chain in the country and in the world. And so, if the biggest dog in the fight pretty much buckles to Universal, what's preventing other studios from doing the same thing, or Universal doing the same thing to other movie chains? And so
exactly.
I could see a lot of people, the corporate heads, the CEOs, the owners, they're wondering what they should do now.
I just can't believe that this is all over the Trolls World Tour movie.
Yeah, who would have thought Trolls would have changed the world of film?
It's another nail in the 2020 like coffin. It's like this has been a very unpredictable year. If you had
Yes.
to look ahead and predict what happened this year, no one would have won.
Yeah, everyone's a loser. Oh my goodness. But you know who's not a loser? Those people that are watching us and listening to us right now. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Hub on Hollywood. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. Or on Facebook, please like, please share. All the views, they help. Jamie, where can they, if they want to learn more about us or follow us or anything, or
Oh
listen
boy.
to us, where can they go? What should they do?
Everywhere, James, everywhere. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on everywhere that you listen to your favorite podcasts, whether that's iTunes or iHeartRadio or a number of other. We're on every major streaming service for podcasts. Like us, share us, join the conversation. Let us know what you think about what we're talking about. Tell us what you want us to talk about. We're always looking for great topic ideas. Yeah, find us, Hub on Hollywood. Just search Hub on Hollywood and you will find us.
We'll be there. And yeah, so this is going to be a big topic. Emmys. I think a lot of people were surprised
Emmys!
about the snubs, the surprises, the movies. I'm sorry, the TV shows that deserved the recognition of their hard work. The Hollywood Reporter says the most nominated series of HBO's, or nominated series that we have right now coming through the Emmys, is Watchmen. And one thing I started realizing when I started reading through the Emmys list and all these shows that are nominated and people, I don't watch many of these shows. Like Watchmen, I haven't watched it. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, haven't gotten into it. Ozark,
Oh.
I tried with one episode, wasn't sucked in. Schitt's Creek, I always hear great things about it, but I have yet to watch it. The only thing I've really watched on this whole list of people that have been nominated or shows is The Mandalorian and The Good Place.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've watched The Marvelous Miss Maisel,
Yeah.
and it is hilarious. Like, it is very hard for me to think that something is actually funny, but oh my goodness, is it engrossing and hilarious? And it just, oh my god, I love The Marvelous Miss Maisel. How many Emmys did that one get?
So that one got 20
Nominations.
Watchmen,
Oh, wow.
26, Ozark, and Succession each got 18, and The Mandalorian 15. Saturday Night Live and Schitt's Creek each earned 15 nominations as well. Now, one thing I'm excited for is The Mandalorian was nominated for Best Drama Series. And, first season, with a direction that not a lot of people knew would be successful, obviously doing a new Star Wars story on Disney Plus. Obviously, The Mandalorian, a huge success. And so it's great to see that not only is it not being nominated for the hard work being put into it, but we love Star Wars. So that's also great.
Yeah.
But getting into the nominations, again, as I mentioned, outstanding drama series. They also got Taika Waititi. He got nominated for Best Outstanding Character Voiceover Performance for the last episode of The Mandalorian. He was in the first one and in the last one. And I think he also directed, did he direct the last episode? I think he did.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do know that he was the robot. Yeah.
Well, so we have outstanding guest actor Giancarlo Esposito as Moff Gideon. Production design, cinematography, costumes, camera direction, prosthetic. So a lot of, not only in front of the camera, but also a lot of behind the scenes things, people that are being recognized for their hard work. And so that's really cool. Kathleen Kennedy, she goes, quote, Disney Plus took a big risk with us on The Mandalorian, and I can't thank them enough. The creative brilliance of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, coupled with the incredible innovations of ILM and Skywalker Sound, truly made our first Star Wars live action series groundbreaking. And I think, I don't know, I don't think The Mandalorian's overrated at all. I think it hits the bar at a very high level, and I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah. Season 2 in production right now, even with all of the COVID restrictions going on. And yeah, that high bar, absolutely. I think that it's hit a bar that you only see with like the animated program, the animated shows, and maybe the original trilogy. And it's really there. And I think that, it gives you all the Star Wars nostalgia without it like hitting you over the head and like, like, oh,
Yeah.
you're just a dumb Star Wars fan. You'll love this. Like, no, I mean, they incorporate it in a way that makes it like you can tell that Jon Favreau really loves Star Wars. The stories are solid. Baby Yoda, how can you not
Yeah.
love Baby Yoda? Like, did they not nominate Baby Yoda for an Emmy?
Well,
Because
they do have, let's see, prosthetic makeup, editing, costume. They must have, I don't know, visual effects. And so I'm pretty sure Baby Yoda would fall
yeah,
into visual effects easily because,
yeah.
yeah, they did an amazing
That's
design. And
fantastic. So I'm looking forward to them sweeping the gamut. And it's really exciting for me because the fact that they're nominated for best drama, is it?
yeah,
Um when it comes to, big blockbuster movies and sci-fi and things like that, you don't always get the drama nom.
no,
But this, it really does deserve it, and it's breaking into, a whole new level of legitimacy.
do you
So
think
I'm
this
just
is a
happy.
ploy to get the younger generation, the millennials and the Gen Zers into the Emmys again? Because the
Oh,
Emmys, if I remember correctly, like ratings are not, not looking good. They're declining.
yeah, but I think that has more to do with the fact that people don't really have TVs and cable subscription anymore.
Yeah, it could be a conspiracy. We could pretend it's a conspiracy.
Okay, yeah, let's go for it. Total conspiracy, 100%.
Yeah, so we'll find out the winners this September 20th at the 72nd Emmy
Mm.
Awards on ABC.
So real quick, do you have a prediction for one of those other shows? I know that Ozark is kind of like the Breaking Bad of the moment. So I have a feeling like that's gonna really sweep a few things. That and Miss Maisel.
You know what? I tried, and I have nothing. I really do like Jason Bateman. But I don't know. I watched an episode of Ozark, and I just wasn't sucked in, and so I can't really, I honestly, it's a good thing I'm not voting, but it's a good thing
Oh,
because I'd just vote for anybody on The Good Place and anybody on The Mandalorian because that's what I've seen. I haven't
there
seen
you
Dead to
go.
Me. I haven't seen Insecure, Blackish, Raimi.
Yeah.
There's a lot of TV
Well,
apparently. There's so much TV you can't watch it all.
we're gonna
So
have to like catch up on a few of these before the actual Emmys, and we'll put our reviews out there for the
you,
for the
you know what?
people, for the masses.
You know what? I could have watched these great Emmy nominated shows, but instead I'm watching something completely different. I'm watching the bottom of the trash can,
Oh
trashy
no.
TV. Like
Woohoo!
I think, as I mentioned before, I think myself and my girlfriend were in the stage of the pandemic where we're just watching trashy things on Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hulu, and so that's my stage right now. I've been watching Sunset or Selling Sunset and also Cheap Weddings. Have you heard of any of those two?
No, but you did tell me a little bit about cheap weddings. Tell us about this trashy wonderfulness.
And this one, I would honestly not maybe categorize it as cheap, or rather trashy, but because the people that are on the show they're genuinely nice. They're getting married, for goodness sake, and so you want things to go well, but they're ordering things on a budget. They're also in Australia, so that's also a cultural kind of you find humor in cultural differences
Oh,
too. But on the
sure.
show, but the theme of Cheap Weddings is these couples are trying to save as much money as they can for their wedding for a variety of reasons. They either bought a house, or they have a kid, or they want to go on vacation, and so they're trying to do everything on a budget. And there are there are storylines that go very, very well for the couple. They're trying to find and pinch every penny, and things are just working. They're finding things that look great, and everything's helping, and everybody's helping, and the whole thing goes off without any problem. And then there are other couples who just can't get a break, and it's so hard to watch, but also enjoyable. But they still end married. They're happy, and so that's how you can kind of justify,
Oh, that's
getting
great.
some amusement from their hardships. But for the
Yeah.
most part, they are good people, and so I'm hesitant to call that trash. But
Oh, no,
Selling
no.
Sunset, I would look that up on Netflix. Basically, a lot of women starting drama at a realty estate company. They sell really rich homes in Beverly Hills and Los Angeles, and just drama and pettiness ensues. So if you're
Oh
looking for
boy.
that, Selling Sunset.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that the wedding show is more wholesome. So
Yes, it
that's
is.
great. That's wonderful. I have also been watching a wedding show. I've been watching Indian Matchmaker,
Mm.
which is about one of the hottest matchmakers in India, and how she helps create these arranged marriages. And it's fascinating. It pulls you into this spectacular lifestyle that some of these clients of hers live in. And I don't know if you have any friends from India. If you do, so send them my way. One of my dreams, James, my dream is to attend an Indian wedding and to wear a sari and to have, it's just so fun and colorful and spectacular. Like, but in this show, where they follow a couple of individual people who are looking for their match. They're looking for their husband. They're looking for their future wife. And once they find someone, the process goes very quickly. They can, the wedding gets planned within a couple of weeks. And so it's you see the challenges, you see the chemistry, and it's absolutely fascinating. I blew through the entire season in like 2 days. So
Now, since
it's a
I
good one.
haven't watched it, and is it, so it's an arranged marriage? Are they is the couple in agreement of the arranged
Yes, the
marriage?
couple is
Okay,
in agreement, right?
okay.
So they connect, and these are career people. So they go to school, they become doctors, they become whatever, and then they just hire this woman for her services to help them find a husband or a wife. And they go on a series of dates, and if they like each other, they pull the trigger very quickly, very
Mm.
quickly. So in India, I guess they call it marriage and then love marriage. So
Oh,
marriage is
I was like, I've heard of
arranged.
marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, they have, but marriage for them is that way. It is set up between the families. It is arranged, kind of like a business agreement. If you think you guys can get along and your goals are in the same place, then hey, you get married and that's it. And then there are love marriages, and both have their challenges, both have their pros and cons. So it's really fascinating to dive deep into the culture and go through that process with all of the people in the show. It was so fun. It was so fun.
All
So
right, I'm
that's a good
down.
one.
I'm sold. You watch Cheap Wedding, and I'll
Okay.
watch Indian Matchmaker,
Okay.
and we'll get back to what we'll get back to each other. See what show's better. But no, but
Okay.
yeah, that's great. Again, I'm in that phase where anything that you could turn your mind off while watching.
Yes.
I'm at that point of the pandemic.
I think we all are. So
Yeah.
that's wonderful. So those are our recommendations. If you need something to just veg out and chill
Yeah.
and enjoy yourself. Oh my gosh, I feel like there was one other thing that I was watching that was just fantastic, and I can't think of it, but I will think of it for you for next time.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Let's find out. What are you watching? What are you binging? What's your trash? What's your guilty pleasure
there you go.
that
That's
you're
a better
hiding
way of saying it. Yeah.
from everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think everybody was in agreement.
Oh,
Tiger King was must watch television, but
yes.
there's some other
Yeah.
stuff you don't want to admit to. So what are you watching? What do you recommend?
Ugly Betty was it? That was the one. I'm getting back into Ugly Betty, the American version of
Yeah.
Betty La Fea, the famous telenovela. That's wonderful. That's one of my very 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 favorites. Anything that you can do to make yourselves feel better, watch it and watch us and listen to us, and we will help get you there.
Yeah, and speaking about helping you get there, don't forget about those casting calls. Look them up if you fit the description. If your family, your friends, send in those emails. If you know somebody who might be interested, send them this link. Send them this episode, and let them know maybe they could be the next Arnold Schwarzenegger family or Will Smith family, and
Yeah,
that could be
exactly.
you. But yeah, for the Hub on Hollywood, I'm James,
I'm Jamie.
and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.